She writes well too. Today is another quick blog post. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, I was this whole, I am woman, black woman, hear me roar. I'm all here for the black man and the cause and the community. And it's like everything that I've been reading lately and hearing lately just really bothers my spirit. I'm just wondering, honestly, what is the real reason that black women are pro-black? Like, honestly, black women are always the ones that at the end of the day, black men run back to, when they need to get bailed out of jail, or they have to pay child support, things like that, or they don't have a place to stay. We're the ones that they bash, but at the end of the day, we're all basically foster moms for these men. Hate to say it, but we all act more like parents than, actual mates. And that's why they tend to kind of buck against us and then have to come back home when they get into trouble. But nonetheless, is there a real reason that black women should be pro-black? And I used to be so just pro-black and, listen to all these lectures and Umar Johnson and all these people, we really need to support the black man and work like a team. And then you look into all these people and you find out they don't even practice what they preach. Half of them don't even really support black love, or they, aid in destroying it in their own personal lives, but they sell you that. They sell you that idea to believe in black love and, we're the world type thinking. But at the end of the day, they don't even really follow that. Most of your black leaders. And it's like, I kind of call them, nigga whisperers or things like that, because those are just the people like Jesse Jackson and the Reverend Al Sharptons and people like that. They just come in and they're put in place by, the government and white media and things like that to come in and kind of lull black people back into this state of just, being quiet and just, not making too much noise. Oh, you're getting too rowdy. So it's like, okay, there's some topic that's happening in the community at large and black people are getting too loud. We're afraid they might turn to violent. Well, let's go ahead and ship in, our nigger whisperer and have them come and, say some really philosophical, sounding quotes and, explain about black community and basically just to get us to feel like whatever candidate at the time just really is for, us black people in general. And then we just lull ourselves right back to sleep. And then we go on to the next topic, the next murder, the next shooting, the next, black man that has been accused falsely, so to speak, of, whomever. I would just say black women, we're such champions for black men. How many times do you see black women, rallying and protesting and lobbying and standing on the front lines and, holding all these rallies and marches and just really standing up for black men in general, in the prison system, whether it be in the government or the military or just issues that affect black men altogether. But when I look around and I hear all these stories about, black women being kidnapped or brutalized or, unfortunately, we see all these stories recently about children ending up dead just because of, bad relationships or because some black guy can't hold his emotions together. That really just bothers me. Like, black women, where are the black men on the front lines for any of these stories that have recently happened? I don't see black men in real life or on TV or, in the media or celebrities even, or even online. I don't hear any black men, standing up and raising any awareness for any type of brutality that happens to black women. I don't see it. All these things that are new laws, or when black women are becoming raped and murdered or missing, do you see any black men posting about that? Like, hey, we should really stand up and find out what's going on with this case, or take it to the highest appeals and see what results that we can get from it. Do you see any of these black men, protesting for black women for anything? Do you see that ever? Or when there is an actual post of anything to do with a black woman being brutalized, somehow it is always going to be her fault if a black man is talking about it. It always comes back down to her choices in men. Well, she should have picked a better guy. Well, he gave her red flags. Well, she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, that's why I don't like this type of women. It always just circles itself right back around to us. So I'm sitting here just thinking all my life, and I do write poems and stuff like that. So I did just some poems on the Willie Lynch letter and, Sarah Bartman and all these people. And it's like, where are the, matriarchs of, where are these great pillars of black hope in black men? Because all the stories that I've ever heard besides, the Martin Luther Kings and the Thurgood Marshalls and, those 10 or 20 black men that we hear about when they're making that 1 in a million change in lifetime, where are those men at today? I don't see that. I don't see black men protesting for any brutality that happens to black women. And I'm just like, but at the end of the day, when it's reversed, black women are sitting here, holding rallies for men that they don't even know simply because he's black. So it's just like, as a black woman, are we just going to continue to cape for black men who never, ever stand up for us? So I'm thinking to myself, does it really benefit black women to be pro-black? Because that's just essentially being pro-black man in any type of, situation that he gets himself into. Somehow we're responsible for getting him out of it. But that's once again us being mammies and being mothers as opposed to being mates. So it just really frustrates me because I'm sitting here thinking this whole time being pro-black is a scam. It sounds like it's just a scam peddled to black women to keep us, supporting black men, and again, never holding them accountable for any type of bad decision that they make. You ever notice, and this sounds really insensitive what I'm about to say. For example, I've been in relationships, and I've had cousins and family in relationships with black men, and it's like, when you tell them about any type of brutality that's happened to you, oh, well, maybe a family member got murdered because of abusive relationship, or maybe she was raped by the man she was with. When you tell that information to black men, their whole tone is just, again, very stoic. And the answer is always, well, she picked the wrong guy. He already gave her a sign. She just should have picked someone better. Especially with, and I've heard this personally just from different people, of being raped. Black men have no feeling at all towards black women being raped, because the way that black women are presented in society just to be sexually exploited, and all we're looked at as just something to be used and thrown away by specifically black men, but any race of men for that matter. We're just propped up in the media to look like, sex objects and, sperm receptacles. So the general respect for the black woman is just at zero, just period. So it's just like, black men do not care about black women being brutalized, and that doesn't matter if it's a black baby, a black little girl, a black teenage girl. They don't care. They just feel like, you should be held accountable for their decisions. But not only that, apparently being pro-black means I not only have to be accountable for my mishaps and bad choices, but I again have to carry black men on my back, and they're allowed to have no accountability for anything that they do. How many times have we looked into cases and we've seen things on TV and in the media, and then it's, perpetuated one way to us, and there's always some black woman on TV, rallying and lobbying for this black man, saying that he's innocent and he's never acted like this before, which 9 times out of 10 is not even true. Because when the aftermath happens, when the shooting happens, or someone ends up dead, there's always the truth that comes out, and you find out, oh, well, he did act like that in his last relationship, or there were red flags somewhere else, or he always had this anger issue. But nonetheless, black women being pro-black, is it really pro-you? Being pro-black, does that benefit black women in any way? Or does that just only benefit black men? Just something on my mind. So as of this point in life, I don't think I will ever be pro-black anything again. I'm just going to promote black women being for themselves, because at the end of the day, black men always look out for themselves. They will bash and bash and bash black women and say, okay, other races of women are better, but at the same time, they take the same problems over to those other races that they give to us. They still brutalize those other women. They still demean those other women. They still disrespect those other women. They still don't marry those other women, and they still leave them with, children to raise on their own. So they still have the same exact issue. So when you hear about them saying, oh, it's so much better over there, well, is it? And if it is, why is it every time there's dysfunction, or there's child support, or you don't have a place to stay, or, someone's threatening your well-being, you want to run back home to, us black women or mammies? Why is that? If the grass is greener over there, then I would suggest that you stay, where the pastures are greener. But nonetheless, black women, does it really benefit us to be pro-black? I don't think so. This is She Writes Well Too, and I'm signing off.